Hey, what's up, rookies? What's up, rookies? It's me, the Bourbon Rookie, all alone on a Saturday night when my wife works, and in celebration of the 4th of July, Happy July 1. We got fireworks. My neighbors are blasting off all around me, and I figured I was gonna have some type of a libation to maybe go outside, smoke a cigar. But I figure, you know what? I've been falling behind on some of my reviews. So a friend of mine gave me this a couple of weeks ago for my birthday, and very generous gift. RabbitHole Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey. Never had it before. Seen a few reviews online, and I'm sure it's well reviewed out there. But considering there's thousands of whiskey, bourbon, any kind of liquor review channel out there. So if you're giving me a few minutes of your time tonight, thanks for tuning in. I was kind of excited because now I'm starting to see this stuff pop up. I just got this at my local liquor store, Green River Weeded Bourbon, and 90 proof. I mean, it says it's 750 milliliter bottle, but look, it can be deceiving. It looks so tame. Packaging's kind of crappy, but apparently it's getting good reviews. So that'll be next, possibly on the list. If you've seen any of my past videos, and I went out looking for some cigars to do for the holiday. This is that time of the year. I'm gonna sit outside, smoke a stick. I was looking for the EP Carrillo Pledge of Allegiance. Now, I know I've been doing a lot of EP Carrillo this year, and it hasn't been by design. It's just been because I'm a creature of habit. I usually like to smoke the cigars that I like to smoke, and so I'm starting to branch out. And EP Carrillo, I feel like, is one of those brands that are up and coming, and they're still I think they're still a little bit of a boutique, privately owned cigar company, and they put out a lot of new cigars this year, at least 3 that I can think of. And the latest is a limited release, the Pledge of Allegiance. So I guess it's a combination of a couple of cigars. They have the Allegiance cigar, which they came out with, I believe, in early January, which I did a review on. It was phenomenal. Probably one of the better smokes I've had this year. And I know they did another anniversary cigar, and I did a review on that. A couple of them were okay, but it's just by coincidence that I just happened to be falling into EP Carrillo's line of cigars. But based on the Allegiance, I really want to try Pledge of Allegiance, because they also have Pledge, a cigar called Pledge, and I guess somehow they've crossed the 2 blends to make the Pledge of Allegiance. So it's good marketing for it. It's a marketing thing. And we'll see. I went on a motorcycle ride to look for one. Local store here, which is called Matadors. They have 5 locations throughout now. It's one of the bigger places, and they don't have it. So I ordered online from Fox Cigars. I'm sorry. There's a lot of cigar companies that do use Fox. So I got one coming in a $5, mixed bag, and hopefully we'll be here for review just in time for the holiday. So the other thing I was excited about was I got a cigar called a breakfast taco, and I really wasn't paying attention to the overall size of the cigar, but it ain't bad because I like the blend. I don't have all the info on me, but there are going to be some upcoming reviews on some of these things. And I was trying to get to it, but I can't really get to it. I got a Metallica cigar. Wouldn't mind getting the Metallica whiskey blackened. So there's a blackened cigar, there's a blackened whiskey that I think they're in their 2nd or 3rd collaboration now. The first one was a Weller, and that bottle is going over, I don't know, 150, 200, depends on if you can get it. And then the newer collaboration, which I forget who that's with, it's affordable. It's roughly around $50, so maybe we'll get that and do a double dip. And I know RabbitHole also has couple of cigars out there too, so maybe we'll double dip on that. But anyway, I digress. Let me get into this a little bit because I wanted to let this breathe. This is like a 4 grain. It's a 4 grain. I had all this up, but I started putzing around trying to go live, and you know, all my preparation went out the window. Mash bill is 70% corn, 10% malted wheat, 10% honey malted barley, 10% malted barley. So I don't know if the honey malted barley is just like some type of an infused malted barley. They just take malted barley and throw honey on it. I don't know how that is, but I don't know how that makes it 4 grain when you're still using malted barley. I mean, whatever. 4 grain. This is 95 proof. Now, I shouldn't be reading this because it's going to influence my palate. It's going to influence my nose. But whatever. Let's see. Tasting notes. Under tasting notes. Now, I'm on the RabbitHole website. You can do this all on your own. The aroma is going to be spice, honey, and fresh apples. Palate's going to be creamy flavors of orange, honey, mint, hints of toasted grain. So even their aroma doesn't necessarily match the palate on here. The finish is a vanilla custard. So, all right. Aged over 3 years in oak barrels, American oak barrels. So I guess I get the apple. I guess I get it. I mean, if I didn't have that info, I might say it's almost like a raspberry, which is obviously different than apple, or a grape. But now that I have apple in my head, I kind of get the apple, you know? Not getting a whole lot of ethanol, just enough to basically get up into the sinuses, open me up a little bit. Definitely fruit forward if that's apple. A little cinnamon. I get the custard. Excuse me. I get the custard thing too. Anyway, it's a good nose. Cheers. Definitely taste the barley in that. Now I know it's 4 grain, and I was being facetious and a bit of a wise ass, of course. You know, it says 4 grain. You got basically 20% barley in this. So yeah, you had the 10% malted barley, and you had the 10% honey malted barley, but definitely getting that on the palate here. And I can see that even though I am inexperienced and I'm a little bit influenced with that apple nose, which I got it now. You know, I'm getting the apple, which is kind of good because maybe that'll train my nose a little bit. But it definitely jives with their description. In other words, the palate doesn't match the nose. So I don't want to say it's unpleasant, but that malted barley kind of makes it a little bit bitter. Try again. Oh shit! Yeah, there's a little bit of a bitterness. You know, I'm not good at this. You know, I see these guys and they're doing this. I can't do it. I fucking spill shit all over me. I do see guys roll the glass like this, so maybe that's something I should do as an old man. Just start rolling. You know, because I don't have it in me. Because every time I fucking try to do it, I spill shit all over me. Oh well. It's supposed to be a family-friendly show. So let me revisit. So on the palate, it doesn't taste bad, but It's 95 proof. There's a little bit of a heat. It's not really incredibly viscous. Trying to swirl this around in the front part of my tongue as much as I can, because to me, that's where I get a lot of flavors on the front part. This is a little different. I mean, it's not really doing it for me, kids. To be honest with you, I don't want to let my friend down who got me this as a gift. It's not horrible, but the foreground on this isn't working for me. So the palate, again, creamy flavors of orange, honey, mint, hints of toasted grain. So I guess to me, maybe that's their description of the bitterness part of this. I'd have to see maybe, how this changes maybe as the bottle opens up. Maybe it'll smooth out a little bit more, and maybe all these flavors will. I feel like the flavors are kind of working against each other as opposed to complementing each other. I'd still be interested in seeing how. They have three other on their site. They have three other types of whiskeys that they sell. So, I'm not going to totally give up on RabbitHole in terms of buying and trying the cigar as a double dip feature. So I'm staring at the palate here. I'm kind of getting hints of the mint. Definitely the toasted grain. There's a little bit of a bitterness on the finish. This is their palate description. The finish is supposed to be basically the finish as it gets to the back of your throat, or the back of your mouth into the throat, is supposed to be vanilla custard. There's a very light vanilla custard flavor in here. Takes a backseat to the grain and the bitterness. So I'm not getting it on the finish per se. I'm getting it somewhere in the middle. But again, I do feel like the flavors in this are kind of working against each other. Yeah. I mean, buddy, Aram, if you're watching, I'm sorry. It's not horrible, but this is probably not something that I would buy. And I've seen this priced at about anywhere from $60 to $70. So thank you for buying this as a gift. I mean, by no means am I throwing it out, but compared to some of the whiskeys that I've had lately, this just isn't doing it. But that would be like, my buddy Aram, he's like a wine connoisseur. Like he's like a sommelier. It'd be like me trying to buy him a bottle of trying to figure out what he likes in a bottle of wine. So, hopefully he understands that, by no means do I hate this. And I do appreciate it as a gift, but it's not something I don't think I would buy, particularly this. I would maybe try the other ones that they have. If we go back to the website, they have, I think they have a rye. So they have this. They have High Gold, which is, believe it or not, it's a blue label. It's a high rye. They have the Derringer, which is straight bourbon whiskey finished in sherry casks. Now, I'd be interested in that and seeing how that flavor profile works. You know, I don't know if it's this finished in a sherry cask, maybe that does something to kind of, you know, mesh the flavors together better. You know, not too many sherry cask finished whiskeys out there that I can think of. The most prominent that would come to mind would obviously be the rye, the Sagamore Spirit Rye. They also have Boxer Grill, which is Kentucky straight rye whiskey. So they have a high rye, they have a regular rye, they have straight bourbon finished in sherry casks, which I would definitely, let's just see. All right. Remember, this is their description. Derringer, perfectly sweet with the smallest kiss of spice. Charming whiskey invites you in with an intoxicating nose of sherry and cherry. On the palate, Derringer displays elegant flavors of raisins and currants, currants. What is that? I don't know. Coupled with hints of almond and vanilla. The layers and complexity of this modern whiskey will have you falling in love, whether neat or in a cocktail. All right. Rested in handmade PX sherry casks from Spain. This super premium straight bourbon whiskey is carefully crafted by taking fine wheated bourbon aged in alligator char barrels and resting it in handmade Pedro Jimenez sherry casks from Spain's renowned Cascnolia cooperage. We then intimately blend no more than 15 barrels to produce our desired flavor profile. A true small batch. Every step we take. Well, look, that's a 93 proof. So I guess somehow or another it's getting proofed down a little bit. Doesn't say how long they age it though. So that kind of bothers me a little bit. I don't know. I mean, I don't want this. I'd rather try it. I mean, my main assumption going into this would be like, you know, what are they taking? Like, what do they got? Some shitty whiskey that they're trying to improve the flavor with some shitty sherry casks. You know that, you know, who knows? But I'm still intrigued nonetheless. And if I find that and it's in the right price point, then I would probably pick it up. So, but for this, yeah, it's just not doing it, you know. Now, we're getting into some hot weather here in New York, and I don't know about by where you're at. You don't always want to have whiskey, especially when it's hot, you know, just because of the heat. I'm already sweating, you know, like my head's sweating. I still have the heat in the chest. You know, so what I usually do when it gets hot, I usually switch over to rum. And there's one rum in particular. I just bought Gosling's rum, and I fucked up because usually I get Gosling's at 80 proof. But it was one of those things where I went into the store and I saw it, Gosling's, took it off the shelf, decent price. I think it was like $25, something like that. And I got it home and I go, oh, it's 151 proof. So I usually like to make dark and stormies. You take a little bit of ginger beer, but you can't have Jamaican ginger beer. It's too spicy. Doesn't complement the Goslings, the Bermuda, the rum from Bermuda. I can't say Bermudian. It's a tongue twister. Take a little lime and you throw it in there, and you actually can. It's an easy drink to make, and you make it to taste. So you can either add a little bit more of the rum, or you can add a little bit more of the ginger ale. Now they have that Gosling's ginger ale that complements, or you get the I think Barrett's. Barrett's is even better if you can find Barrett's ginger beer in the store. Straightforward drink. You know, you take a little you get a decent sized glass, couple shake, a couple, maybe 2 ounces of rum to, but with the 150, I'm gonna have to probably do like half a shot because I just doubled my proof in one bottle. So, yeah. So I will be doing probably a cigar review, and I will be doing that with a dark and stormy. And if you don't like the combo with the ginger beer, the lime, you cut up a couple limes, wedges, you throw it in. Great drink, especially on a hot day. The thing about rum, much like whiskey, gets you sleepy. So if you start too early, it's fine. Take a break, a little coffee. Always drink responsibly, as they say, right? But I will be probably pairing that with a cigar. I'm very excited because I got a new I got a La Flor Dominicana that I have not tried. So I will be doing my next review will be of that, and hopefully we'll be getting these done this weekend and just scheduling them to go out. The live, I'm already at 20, 21 minutes. I don't really have any viewers, so I'm probably going to end this. I just didn't feel like doing a lot of splicing and editing and all that good stuff. But hey, look, if you guys have had the rabbit hole and you like it and you disagree with me, I'm not a particular fan of this one. Yeah, I mean, so again, it's one of those where you feel bad because somebody got for you as a gift, but not saying I'm not going to drink it. Now, again, it's one of those things that with every sip, it gets a little bit different. So maybe the flavor profile will smooth out because I've been going on for 20 minutes, 21 minutes, 22 minutes, and I had this open in the glass for about 10. So there's been a few sips where it's changed here and there, but the one thing that is prevalent is that barley note that I just don't particularly care for. It's just enough to kind of make this go a little for me. But on the other hand, it's not like horrible either. So for me, I wouldn't revisit this one particularly. I wouldn't buy it. Thank you again, Aram, for the gift. Yeah, I probably wouldn't go back to this. I am interested in the sherry one, so maybe if I find that and it's within my price range, we'll do something with that later on at another date. But for me, I can't particularly recommend that. So if you followed any of my videos and you feel like your flavor profiles are in kind of align with mine and in what I like or what I don't like, then you probably won't like this. So, but if you're somebody who's into scotches and you like a scotch profile, that kind of a flavor profile, I mean, I don't know. Like, listen, I'm not an ice guy. Maybe, give me 1 second. Maybe if I threw some ice with this, it might open it up. Maybe I need to proof it down a little bit. Let's see. Give me 1 second. Almost there, kids. Hold on. I can't find the right glass, of course. Bang, bang, bang. I'm here. I'm in the background. Totally unprepared. All right, I'm back. I know that was like, nobody wants to be bored staring at a fucking loser like me. Anyway, let's give it a shot. Can't hurt. Maybe it's one of those things that because of the barley, it'll taste better on ice. I don't know. So I'm not gonna go nuts. I don't have any fancy ice cubes, just regular ice cubes in the fridge. Now, I'm not somebody that likes to I like to drink my whiskey neat because I like to experience the flavors. And I'm not a scotch guy. And it actually bothers me sometimes when all the guys at the cigar shop, everything's on ice. You bring in a nice bottle of booze and everything's on ice. Like, I don't, but again, if you like ice, you like ice. Let's see, guys. I'm at a loss of words because I feel like it did open it up a little bit. But I feel like weird. I feel like the ice kind of brought out some hidden flavors in here. I'm tasting orange. I'm still getting that barley note that's kind of turning me off a little bit, but it did change the whole dynamic of the drink, of the pour. Excuse me. It's not bad. I actually feel like I like it better on ice. The problem with ice is that I'm actually gulping. I'm actually like drinking this like almost like a water, and that I'm not used to just because everything I drink is neat. This is probably one of the few bourbons that I've had or that on ice. I usually don't do it. I don't know, guys. I mean, there's still a predominant note in here that I just don't like. I feel like the ice made it a little bit better. I feel like the ice made it a little bit more fruit forward. There's a lot of orange in here with the ice. It's a lot more refreshing on a hot day with the ice. But there's still that barley note that is just really kind of getting me. Now, again, for any of you that might even, I don't even know if anybody's going to hang in with this because I'm already at 27 minutes. But I don't know. I just 20%, the 20% barley, it's still 20% barley, even though they're saying it's 4 grain with that honey, whatever it is, the honey roasted barley or whatever the fuck that shit was. It's still 20% barley. So it's kind of a little too barley forward for me. Maybe that's just what it is. Not gonna lie, I feel like the ice really just changed the whole dynamic of of the bourbon. There is definitely a tinge to my stomach that I don't like, and I usually get that with scotch. If you like scotch, you're probably gonna like the flavors in this. So if you're somebody who's a scotch guy, but you don't really dabble in bourbon or whiskey, you're not really that kind of guy, try this. This might be right up your alley. Whereas if you're like a traditional bourbon or rye drinker, and you just like the 3 grain, then this is probably not up your alley. But look, I mean, I've seen bourbon drinkers give it a decent review. For me, it's a no-go. It's just a no-go. Either way, on ice or without ice. But the one interesting thing about this, it really brought out orange. Like I'm getting orange. So again, I tend to wax on and talk and yap and blah 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 blah. I guess it's the Italian in me, but anyway, guys, look. Hopefully, you guys, whoever's out there, will catch this another time. I guess the average view is about 30 seconds, and I've gone 29 minutes, almost 30 minutes, and I have no viewers. But at least I don't have to do any editing, and I kind of got the video in. So, hey, Aram, if, Maybe you'll get this, maybe you won't. Sorry, buddy. I'm not throwing the bottle out, but it'll definitely, the guys at the cigar shop probably gonna love it because a lot of them love scotch, and otherwise here it'll just sit in the shelf. And I will have a glass. I will drink more of it. Trust me. But at any rate, buddy, thanks for the gift, and thank you all for not watching. And we will see you soon. Enjoy your 4th of July, and stay safe and drink responsibly, guys. And do this holiday well. All right, we are post-pandemic, so stay frosty, everybody. Take care.